Let's get to it, y'all. Today we're talking about the customer journey, specifically the specific steps that your unique audience needs to take to work through the journey of the process of getting ready to commit to you. I will tell you probably one of the number one reasons why entrepreneurs and business owners struggle to sell the things that they are selling is because they don't understand or they don't have a map for their own unique customer journey, and so it's an incomplete process. Your customers don't know how to get from the starting line to the finish line with you, or you might have an idea of what that process looks like, but it takes you too long to accomplish those steps, so you're never able to build up the buying temperature. This is selling 101 if you're really trying to build a brand, especially leverage a brand online and leverage social media to attract clients to whatever it is you're selling. You have to understand your customer journey. So I'm going to teach you this morning what a customer journey is, but more importantly, I'm going to teach you how to basically adapt what I'm going to give you this morning to your own unique business and help you develop your own unique map of your own unique customer journey so that you know exactly what steps your customer has to go through with you to get them to the finish line. And then once you understand those steps, then you can figure out, all right, how quickly can I accomplish those steps? Because the faster you're able to take that customer through that journey, the faster you're going to get them to the closing table and ready to purchase whatever it is that you're selling. All right, this is the best way to apply strategy to marketing, because marketing is marketing's overwhelming for a lot of people, right? If you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, you're a podcaster, you're a creator, you're an author, you know, whatever it is you're trying to do, creating your products is the fun part, right? It's you know, building around your services and putting the stuff out there that you have on your heart to put out there, and that you know your stuff is valuable, you know you can help people, you know you can create something that's valuable and that people would want. But how do I get them to find it? How do I get them to engage with me? How do I get them to want to buy that? That's not always the fun part. And I know so many people that are incredibly talented and incredibly creative with their gift and with their product, but they hate marketing. It's because marketing's not easy. Marketing's tricky. Marketing's confusing. And if you approach your marketing wrong, it's very easy to waste a ton of time and a ton of energy and possibly a lot of money doing things that are ineffective. And there's nothing worse than putting something out there for sale and nobody buys it. And doesn't mean that your thing's not valuable. Doesn't mean that your business is not possible. Does not mean that it's not going to work for you. It just means that there's a gap somewhere. There's a miss somewhere. So we need to fill that gap and we need to fix it so that we can get you selling. Jamie, good morning to you, buddy. Thanks for coming in. Cheers, and good morning to you. Cheers, and good morning to you, Paul. Thanks for being here, buddy. So let's talk about this. I'm going to give you a quote of the day. This quote of the day is mine. And me says, Justin Kaplan says, your business will grow at the same pace at which you are able to develop and grow new relationships. Emotional connections are the driver of business results. I'm going to say that one more time. Randy, good morning, buddy. Your business will grow at the same pace at which you are able to develop and grow new relationships. Emotional connections are the driver of business results. Let's talk about your customer journey. I'm going to give you 6 steps this morning. And these are the 6 things that your customer these are the 6, I'm going to call them stages, that your customer has to go with you. And this is basically how to take a brand new, what I would define as a cold audience, someone who does not know you, and how to get them all the way to the closing table where they're ready to buy whatever it is that you're selling. Okay? Number 1, stage 1 is general interest. If you're taking notes, write down general interest. What general interest is when there is a specific person or a specific Jamie. Well, hold on. Jamie's never even tasted coffee. You must not like the smell of it, Jamie. Is that right? You don't like the smell? Because I know people like that. You do you, boo, Tasha. Pumpkin spice. See, Renee, I got pumpkin spice in the fridge. I rolled pumpkin spice yesterday, and it was delightful. Today, I just want it black. But I know some people that just can't roll with even the smell of coffee, so they don't dare taste it. But I'm all, and funny thing is, I didn't used to like black coffee, but now I'm all about the black coffee. Maybe it's my 40-ness. Yeah, I'm 40. I turned 40 this year. You can feel bad for me. Or, be proud of me, whatever. I made it to 40. I'm still cool at 40, I think. Let's get back to work, y'all. Distracting. General interest. Randy, good morning to you. Thanks for coming in. Bring on the tamales. Y'all are talking about food. Jamie says, not all found in college. I was allergic to caffeine. Wow, that's crazy. I did not know that. Kat's got warm cinnamon water for you today. That sounds kind of nice. I like cinnamon. I like me a little cinnamon. All right, y'all. Let's get to work. Right? Let's everybody put ready to work in the chat stream. If you're ready to work, you got your mug, you got your, we got the stuff out of the way, and we're ready to go to it. All right. General interest, stage 1. So what general interest is general interest is basically understanding that you have an audience of people that exist in the world today that need what you're selling. All right? Do we all agree with that? Everyone, you have an audience of people in the world today that need what you are selling. Okay? That's a fact. That's just period. They're out there, all right? The only reason they're not buying from you currently is because they don't know you exist, or they don't know how you can help them, or both. One of those two things, or both. Okay, so those are general interest people. Basically, what means with those people is those people are out there. Those people are in your network. Those people are in your network's network. Those people are out there. You have the ability to reach them. You have the ability to find them. You have the ability to connect to them. They're out there. They have a need. You have a solution, but they don't know you yet, but they're out there in the world with their need. That's a general interest. And usually general interest people, I'll say a portion of them, I don't even know what the percentage would be, but a portion of them are, they've got something going on in the world. They need help with it, but they may not even be actively looking for a solution or actively looking for help. And that could be simply because they don't know help is even available. So they're just going about their lives with just, this issue, this need, this desire that I have, and it's just something that I'm dealing with. They don't even know help is available. Then you got the other spectrum of the people that they have this issue, they have this problem, they have this desire in their life, and they have a feeling that help is probably available, but they don't know where that help is or how to find it. So, but regardless, all of these people are general interest people, all right? So the first step that you have to encounter, understanding that you have these general interest people out there, is you have to create opportunity for them to find you. This is where content comes into play, or marketing comes into play. You've got to give yourself a chance to be found. All right. Now, this can take a variety of different tones. What I'm doing right now by doing a live video is engaging the general interest audience. All right. Now, it doesn't mean that all of you guys are general interest, because I got a whole bunch of you that you're my peeps. Some of you are my clients. Some of you guys may have been following me for years. So you're way farther in the customer journey than general interest. But I will have people that watch this video or listen to this podcast if they're on the podcast. I love all my podcasters. Thanks for listening, guys. Right. So wherever you are listening or watching this video, I am going to have people that watch or listen to this video, whether it's podcast or whether it's live or whether it's on YouTube or whether it's repurposed through content in a variety of different ways that I put it across the web. I will have people that will hear this video and hear me for the first time. And so that is an opportunity where I'm engaging my general interest audience and giving them the opportunity to experience me. And all I'm doing is I'm meeting them where they are. So with this particular video, what I'm talking about, and when I actually put in the screenshot of this particular training, says this is probably the reason why your customers are not buying, right? So if I'm engaging people and they see that graphic, they're like, yeah, you know what? I am trying to sell, but I'm struggling to get people to buy. So they're drawn into this video because they're trying to figure out how to get customers to buy whatever it is that they're selling. And so this may be the first experience that they're having with me, but the topic drew them in. So then they're all of a sudden, oh, Justin is a startup business coach. He does social media marketing. He does branding. He does website development. He helps people grow their business and build from their ideas. So this is cool. I didn't know this guy. So what I'm doing is I'm taking that general interest. Sorry, I got something in my eye. Hold on. I taken that general interest audience and I'm moving them into stage 2. Stage 2 is curiosity. Okay. Now, before we go into stage 2, I want to keep on the stage 1 piece, that general interest piece. You've got to entice people and give them the opportunity to experience you in some way. So whether it's live video or it's podcasting or it's social posts that you make, whether, wherever those posts are, maybe you're an Instagrammer, maybe you're on Facebook, maybe you want to run some ads, whatever that is, you've got people out there that need what you're selling, but you've got to help them find you, okay? So if you are running a business that has this great product and this great service and great branding and you got everything ready to go and everything ready to sell, but you never go out and open the doors, and expect people to come in and actually give people an opportunity to experience you, you're never going to get them to the register. You're never going to get them to the closing table. It'd be like, just let's think about it this way. Imagine I decided today that I wanted to open up a new restaurant. I love Italian food. I love pizza. I love pasta. I love Italian. So maybe I decided I want to open up an Italian restaurant. So I make an investment. I find the building. I find the location. I get the staff worked out. I get the menu laid out. I get the building set up. The branding's done. The presentation, the interiors, the vibe is right. Everything's right. I'm doing all the things. Park there. This is what people do when they're doing website and branding. All that work that goes into building the vibe of your business and the brand and the structure and the tech and the components and the sales processors and all of that. Park there. Back to my restaurant. So that's the same thing. Locally, it's getting my whole building all set up and ready to go, ready to do business. All right. So I've got it all done. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to start taking some clients. I've got this great menu. I know I've got great food. I know I can sell. I know people will love this once they have the opportunity to experience it. But, I'm real busy. So I don't want this business to overwhelm my schedule. So, I'm only going to probably open up for maybe, an hour on like maybe Friday afternoons because I'm free on Fridays. But then I might be able to do a little bit of time on Saturday. Maybe I'll do like 2 hours Saturday morning because that'll work, because that works for my schedule. And then maybe I'll do, I don't know, I guess it's Sunday. But I don't know. I really love Sunday. Sundays are my family day. So maybe I won't open on Saturday. So, to start, I'd be willing to do, maybe an hour or two on Friday and maybe an hour or two on Saturday where I'll open and people can come in and check out the restaurant. Does that make sense? Yeah, and you're all like, you're crazy, dude. Why would you go to all that time and all that effort and not open, right? And not let people come in and see what you're doing? Like, are you telling people about your restaurant? Are you putting advertisement in there? How are you going to get foot traffic? Now I seem like a complete fool. Don't I? I'm going to go to all the work to build this restaurant and get it all set up and have staff ready and have the whole thing. But then I'm not going to open and actually let people. And you're like, that's ridiculous. Well, for some of you, that's exactly what you're doing. You've done all this work to build this business and to set it all up, and you've got branding done. You may have website done, and you've created your products and you've created your services, but you're not opening the door for business. Nobody knows you exist. You've got to create opportunity. So this number one, general interest, is we all agree that we all have an audience of people out there that exist, that are there ready to see what we have to offer. But if you don't ever show up for them, the rest of the journey is not going to take place. You can't just create a product and expect people to walk in and want to buy it. You've got to put yourself out there. So number one is we got to find a way. This is your stage one, your step one. No matter what it is, no matter what kind of business you're doing, your first step is, how do I open myself for business? How am I going to show people what I have to offer and give them the opportunity to experience my value and be drawn in to stage two, which is curiosity. All right? So stage two is curiosity. So once your general interest audience, people that have seen you for the first time, they didn't know you were there, they didn't know who you were, once they've had the opportunity to experience you, then they're going to become curious. Not all of them, because some people will have an experience with you and be like, yeah, you're not for me, and they'll move on, and that's fine. That's totally fine. If you got people that come and listen to you or watch you or see what you're doing, and they're like, yeah, not interested, and they move on, that's fine. Don't take that personally. That's normal. Everyone is not your audience, and everyone is not for you. And also, all customers are not good customers, and all money is not good money. So don't worry so much about the people that aren't bought into what you're doing, because you're trying to find your people. And your people will have an experience with them if you give that to them, and then they're going to be curious. So again, if I'm having someone who's watching me for the first time today or listening to me on the podcast or on YouTube or whatever, and you're like, I kind of dig Justin. I like how he teaches. This makes sense. This is cool. I didn't know this guy was out there. I'm kind of curious about who Justin is and what other training he has out there, and what he actually does. What happens when people become curious? What happens with you when you become curious? You do your own research. And this is how the 21st century social audience works, y'all. People like to do their own research. They like to be able to dig in. They like to be able to look up. They like to be able to check stuff out, and like to be able to get a good idea of who you are, what you're about, and are you a real business, right? So curiosity means they're going to start doing their own digging. And they're going to start checking you out to see if you're actually credible, and see if you are actually someone that they can trust with their money or with their time or with their energy or whatever. So curiosity, what you need to do at the curiosity step, actually what you need to do before curiosity at the beginning, is you need to be ready for people to look you up. What does that mean? All right. They're going to look at Google, obviously. 96% of all internet searches are executed by Google. That's covering Yahoo, Bing, YouTube is a search engine, Facebook is a search engine, all of them. 96%, it used to be 92, 96% of all internet searches are executed by Google. What that means for us is that you've got to be aware of what people are going to find if they're going to look you up on Google. And if what comes up on Google is not what you want, you got to work on that, right? So, if you haven't done this recently, go to Google and Google your name, or Google your business name, or Google both, depending on your business, right? So my business is Justin Kaplan Pro. So people are either going to Google Justin Kaplan or Justin Kaplan Pro. If you Google it, I'm fully confident in my Google search results, right? And if you're like, well, Justin, that's easy. You had your name. Your name's easy, so obviously you're going to dominate Google. Okay, well, when I first started my business and first time I went out and Googled myself, I realized that there's a decorated military veteran with the exact same name, exact same spelling, that lives in New York. And so 6 years ago, when you would Google Justin Kaplan Pro didn't exist at the time, but if you went out and Googled Justin Kaplan, the first 5 pages of Google were completely saturated by Mr. Justin Kaplan, military veteran in New York, and all of his awards and accolades in military history. And so I've spent the past 5 years taking that over. So now, if you go Google Justin Kaplan, you don't find Mr. Military Veteran until page 6, roughly. So that's because I've had to work at that. But you have to work at that. You have to be aware of what's out there, because if someone is drawn in by however you choose to engage them at the general interest factor, but then they go Google you and look you up and there's no information about you whatsoever, it's going to put a check in your spirit, like, is this a real business? Like, are they for real? Or did they just start? It just poses some questions. Doesn't mean that you got to dominate with all this, crazy information. You just want to have enough there to make you look credible. A great place to start with that, if you've never done this before, is you can set up a Google business listing. It's free. It's easy. If you have not done this for yourself before, do this immediately as soon as possible. Go onto Google, link up your Google account, and go to googlemybusiness.com. Or if you just research Google My Business, and you can set up a Google business listing, and that will give you an official Google business listing. You put photos, business information. One of the common misconceptions about a Google business listing is people are like, well, Justin, don't you have to have a physical address to do a Google business listing? You do not. You do not have to post a physical address. So if you're an online business that works out of your home and you do not want to put your address on there, you can do it without address. It just simply won't put you on the map, but it will still show up in Google business listing. You can put reviews there. And so, like, if you go search Justin Kaplan Pro on Google, the first thing that comes up is my Google business listing. It'll show my 5-star reviews, pictures. You can do all kinds of stuff. It has my website linked. That gives you instant credibility. And in some cases, that might be just enough for for someone who's checking you out. So do that. If nothing else, do that. The other thing that I think is incredibly important for the research piece, because again, curiosity means they're going to look you up. They're going to look you up on Google. They're probably also very likely going to look you up on Facebook, because Facebook today is like the 21st century resume. All right. If you want to know anything about anybody, do you not look them up on Facebook? I do. Like, how many of y'all do? I do. If I was going to invest any kind of money into anybody, into a coach, and I've done this with coaches, with a coach, with someone I'm going to their conference, if I want to go to somebody's retreat, if I want to buy their course or their program, I want to have an idea of who the person is that I'm buying this from. So I will absolutely look them up on Facebook, because you can learn a lot about people from the Facebook personal page. You can get a good idea of their hobbies, their interests, their values, their beliefs. You can learn a lot based upon what you see on people's Facebook page. So turning this back to us as business owners, you need to manage and monitor your personal Facebook profile like a champ, right? And you need to be very aware that what you post personally affects you, and what you post personally affects you professionally. All right? This is why I highly encourage you as a business owner to be thoughtful about the things that you post and the things that you share. Whereas as a person with your own personal beliefs and such, you can go out and share what you want, post what you want, have whatever kind of opinions you want politically or spiritually or whatever. You can go out and then drop that stuff. But if you are a business owner, you cannot afford to be divisive. I said, as a business owner, you cannot afford to be divisive. Your political affiliations and opinions and anything that you have that would split one side to the other does not have a place on a personal page if you are a business owner. Because if you post something that is divisive, you automatically cut off 50% of people that might have bought from you. Don't do it. Okay, I mean, I get it. We all have opinions. We all have feelings, and sometimes we all would like to go out there and just share thoughts that we have in our mind. But if you are a business owner, you've got to be so careful about those things, and do not alienate your audience because you want to make an opinion or a thought made. All right, just be careful with that stuff, because people will absolutely check out your personal profile. Now, lastly, before I go to my next point, is a business page. Okay, personally, I hate Facebook business pages. Their algorithm sucks and they get scratch visibility. Nobody sees your business page. However, I highly recommend having a Facebook business page, because I believe it is powerful for credibility. All right. So what happens with me often, I share my content on my personal page, because personal page is where the visibility happens. So I use my personal page for visibility. I use my business page for credibility. And so on my personal page, I have my business Facebook page linked to my personal page. So I share this video, that I'm sharing right now personally live on my personal page. People come in, they interact with my video. And then if someone's seeing this for the first time and they may not know who I am, or they may not have ever connected with me before, they're not likely to message me on my personal page, because we may not be friends. Right? So this video is public. It can go out to anybody. So anybody who shares it, anybody in your network can see this video. They do not have to be friends with me to see any of my videos on my page. But what happens is people will watch my videos, they'll engage with me, but then if they want to learn more about my business, they'll click on the link in my personal profile, which sends them to my business page. They'll check out my business page, read my bio, learn a little bit about what I do, and then they'll message me from my business page. All right, so I rarely post content on my business page. Basically, I just share my videos there so that you can see my content there if you like. But people don't engage so much with my content on my business page, but I get messages through my business page all the time, daily, multiple messages a day. And that's because people are seeing my content personally and looking at my business page and going to my business page to message me, because that feels more normal, messaging a business than versus messaging someone from their personal profile. So a couple key factors on this curiosity one. People will do their own research. So you got to be aware of what comes up on Google, and you got to start working to take control of that. A Google business listing is the best way to start that process. Making sure that your personal profile on Facebook is clean. making sure that you have a business profile set up that gives people the opportunity to message you or contact you. Those are 3 big factors right off the bat. Additionally, a website is tremendously important. But even before that, people are going to dig. They're going to look. Having reviews posted either on your business page on Facebook or on your Google business listing, giving people the opportunity to experience just what you do, how you do it, that you're credible, that you're reputable, having reviews out there they can read. All of those things are very, very important because it just gives people confidence that you are someone that they can trust. That's really, and I love Paul. You know what, Paul? Listen, let's just park here for a minute. One of the things I love about Paul Ybarra, he's one of my guys, he's one of my clients. The man listens to what I tell him to do, and he does it, and he doesn't wait. I was driving yesterday. I was headed to my daughter's band performance last night, and I had a conversation with my inner circle yesterday. And I told, and I got a lot of my inner circles in here. I had a conversation with my inner circle yesterday morning. I told them, you need to warm up your email list. You need to start getting people used to seeing emails from you. If you have not sent an email to your list recently, send one today. And I only saw one email go out yesterday, and that was from Paul Ybarra. And Paul sent an email, and I'm like, and it hit my inbox, and there it is. Paul's doing what I told him to do. And guess what? When November rolls around and Paul's the one shouting out all of the clients he's got rolling in, is because Paul does what I tell him to do. So you have a Google business listing I'm sitting here talking about, and Paul just goes right out and knocks it out and gets it done. It literally takes a couple minutes, right? It's not complicated. Just do it, y'all. I don't teach you these things for the fun of it. I teach you it because it works. It works, and I want to see you thrive and succeed and grow and acquire all the people that are out there meant to be acquired by you. Just take the steps, take the action. So curiosity is important. Make sure that you take the steps necessary to set up what is necessary so that when people go look you up, they become curious, they can find what you want them to find, all right? That's number 2 is curiosity. Number 3 is emotional engagement. Again, we're talking about the customer journey, the specific steps that your customer needs to go through before they're going to be willing to commit to you on any level. And I'm going to remind you of this. I've shared this often. I'll share it again today. It takes the average online consumer 5 to 7 positive experiences with your brand before they're usually going to be willing to commit to you on any level. What does that mean? That means you got to give them an opportunity to experience you and have a positive brand impression with you 5 to 7 times before they're going to be willing to commit to whatever it is that you're trying to sell. A problem that so many people have as they're trying to build and grow a business, 2 problems that you have. One, you're not accomplishing 5 to 7 impressions. You don't have a mechanism in place of taking them through subsequent impressions. And really what each of these things that I'm giving you today are an opportunity to give them an impression, right? So your first problem may be that you don't have enough strategy in play to give them 5 to 7 positive experiences with you, or you do have mechanisms in play to give them 5 to 7 experiences, but it takes too long to accomplish those impressions because people are in a hurry. They have a very short attention span. They have a very short window where their buying temperature can be built up. So someone might be like, Justin, I have a podcast, or I do live streaming, or I do posts out there. I do 1 to 2 posts a week. Okay, if you do 1 to 2 posts a week, that's cool, but not everybody's going to see every post. So let's say your audience sees 50% of what you put out there, which is realistic on a good day. So let's say they only see 1 post from you a week. If they're only seeing 1 post from you a week, you're not accomplishing 1 impression, second impression, second week, third impression, third week. You're not accomplishing 7 impressions over 7 weeks. You're accomplishing 1 impression every single week, and then it stops. And the next week, you get back to 1 impression again. Because if people don't see you for a week after you've done something, their buying temperature falls to the ground. Because it's the thing. Listen, I want you to get this, y'all. Every time someone has an experience with you, it builds the buying temperature, right? So anybody who's listening to this podcast or watching my video, if you're new to me, if you're in that general interest stage and you're looking for some help with your business, or you're trying to figure out how to monetize, or you're trying to figure out how to scale or whatever, and you've got this need, you've got the desire, and all of a sudden you're seeing me in your mind as someone who might be able to help you, I've moved you into curiosity and your buying temperatures come up just a little bit. Does not mean that someone's going to watch this video and be like, oh, I'm going to buy Justin's signature whatever. I'm gonna get ready. I'm ready to throw a coin at this guy. No, you're not ready to buy nothing. You're just ready to just understand a little bit more about me. But your buying temperature has come up just a little bit. So the more I'm talking, the more I'm teaching, the more I'm engaging with you, your buying temperature comes up. As soon as I hang up this video, or as soon as you hang up this video and we cut off our connection, the buying temperature starts to drop. And it drops slower than the way it rose. You know, having an interaction brings the buying temperature up, but then it starts to fall slowly. And it's going to continue to fall until there's another experience with me. And so if it drops maybe 50% from where it was, but then I have another video come out tomorrow and I bring you into another impression, and I have another video, and the buying temperature comes back up. And now I'm a little bit higher than I was yesterday. But then as soon as I cut the video off, as soon as the experience stops, the buying temperature begins to fall again. But now I need to get you to my website. I need to get you to download something, which is constantly why I'm always inviting you to do something. So I'm like, guys, listen, go to jcblacknovember.com and check out this sweet promotions I got going on coming up in November. Those things are going to kick off next week. Check those out. While you're there too, just poke around my website. I got some great free guides there. I got some great stuff. So if you hang up on this video, this is one impression. You go to my website, you poke around my website. My website will give you another impression. So then I'm at 2. Right? 2 impressions. So then you're engaging there and you register for my list, and that's awesome. And then you find a free download and you're like, sweet, I'm going to get this free download. And you download that free guide. It drops right in your email inbox. You're like, sweet, this is cool. And so you're going through that guide. Now I'm at impression number 3. And then after I see that you get that free guide, I give it 48 hours and I follow up with you. And I say, what's up? John, appreciate you downloading my free guide, man. Just checking in with you, see what's going on in your business. If you have any questions for me, I would love to just, provide any help if you need it. If you ever want to have a chat, I'd love to chat with you. I'm fully available. Just let me know what that looks like, man. Good luck with the guide. Let me know if you get stuck on anything. And I follow up. So that's impression. Where am I at? Let's say 4, because I think I lost track. So say I'm still at 4, but I followed up. And that's only, I could accomplish that in one day. I could have 4 or 5 impressions in one day. So video is 1, send you to my website's 2, you download one of my guides, that's 3, I follow up with you, that's 4. I could do all that in one day, right? And then you're like, dang, this is so good. I really dig the way Justin teaches. Let me see what he's teaching tomorrow. You come into my video tomorrow and you're at impression number 5, coming into my only 2nd video that you've ever seen to me. And what did I tell you? It takes an average of 5 to 7 positive impressions with someone before you're usually going to be willing to commit to them on any level, which is usually why I can do one video, take someone through a series of impressions in one day, get them on a 2nd video, and get them to commit to a phone call by that afternoon. I can close someone in 24 hours. It's because because I know how I need to continue building with these people and taking them through impressions to get them to the point where their buying temperature is high enough, because every single impression builds that temperature up. So again, if I just lay this back all out, one video builds the buying temperature. As soon as the video cuts off, the temperature starts to fall. But if you go straight to my website and you have another impression, buying temperature comes back up. It's not falling much because you went right to my website. And then you're on my website, and then you download a free guide. You get into that free guide, temperature comes back up again. And then it starts to fall after you download the free guide. But then I follow up with you and I ask you some questions and I tell you I'm personable and I love to help, blah, blah, blah. Now buying temperature's up here. And then it starts to fall a little bit overnight. But then tomorrow morning you're back into watching another video, and then it comes back up here. And then after I get done with that video, your buying temperature's up here. And then I'm like, listen, guys, if you're interested, anybody who's interested today only, I'm going to throw out free strategy calls. The first 3 people that drop in my inbox, they just have like a strategy call with you, just message me on Messenger or shoot me a message on my website. Justin, I was watching your video. You said you do a free strategy call. The first 3 people that message me today that say they would like a strategy call with me, I'll hook you up with a free strategy call. And then also I'm on the phone with you and I'm helping you with your business. Right? I can do that in 24 hours because I know what it takes and how quickly those impressions need to happen. So I'm telling you, y'all, There's Randy's. Randy's all over it already. I love it, buddy. So I'm telling you, the faster and the more effective you get at accomplishing your impressions, the quicker you're going to have people going out and checking out your pricing and your services. So we're only on curiosity so far, but let's go to number 3. All right. Am I making sense so far? Put yes in the chat room if I'm making sense. Listen, y'all. And if you have questions, ask me questions because I love to answer questions. The reason why I share this content is for you. It's because I want to help you. All right. I'm not doing this for me. It's for you. I commit this hour every morning on a weekday, Tuesday through Friday, to help you with whatever you need help with. If you got questions, ask them. All right. So emotional engagement is number 3. We talk general interest. How do you get them from general interest to curiosity? You got to show up for them. How do you get them from curiosity to emotional engagement is you got to give them enough to see, to feel confident you are a professional worthy of hire, and then they can feel confident learning more about you. Once they cross that bridge and they feel confident, then they're going to move into emotional engagement. All right. Emotional engagement is when you give them something that strikes a chord with them, that connects to them emotionally. Right? Now that's where you have to get unique in your approach. But that's why, the way I go about my content, I share a wide variety of different type of content. Whether it's personal development or branding or marketing strategy or monetization techniques or growth strategy, whatever it is, I'm constantly giving you guys things to think about. That's the reason why I have a nice variety of content and a wide range of things that I talk about and I teach is because I'm sharing different topics that I know are going to attract different kinds of people that are in different stages. Right? I'm not speaking to one singular audience all the time, right? Certain content will attract certain types of people. Some content that I share is going to attract people that do not have businesses, but they have an idea and they're wanting to start. So some of my content will bring in those people that are brand new and just trying to get started. Other content that I share is going to engage more people that have businesses started. They've got themselves established. They maybe already have some stuff in play, but they're struggling to grow or to scale. And so that'll attract a different type of client. That's kind of who I'm attracting today. With this content, I'm not speaking to brand new people. Some brand new people will watch this and learn what they need to learn to get started. But this is more speaking to those of you guys that are already in business and trying to figure out how to scale your income. Then I may have other content that's more towards personal development. And then that might strike chords with business owners that are succeeding. They got great brands, great businesses, but they're trying to figure out how to be more disciplined, more structured, mindset work maybe. So each of those things is attracting different types of people. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for a way to connect to you emotionally. All right? I'm trying to give you something that you can engage with. It's going to stir up your emotions. And it's going to meet you where you are. Let's park here for a second. When you're running a business, it's very important for you to be conscious of the seasons that you're in, the clients that you serve, and what types of stuff that they got going on in their world so you can meet them where they are. I'm always asking myself, what do my clients need from me today? What would be helpful today? I mean, this content today came up from a conversation I had with my inner circle yesterday. We were talking through some specific stages for the Black November selling season, and one of the things was the steps that you take to lay out your marketing plan. And we got talking a little bit about the customer journey. I'm like, I think I'm going to teach this tomorrow. I'm like, would that be helpful? Do you guys need that? And my crew's like, yes, please teach on that subject again. It's a great refresher. I'm like, all right, let's teach that tomorrow because this is what my crew is asking for. So those guys that are not in my crew and you just are benefiting from it today, you can thank my inner circle because they asked me to teach this today. So emotional engagement is just finding ways to connect emotionally to your audience and sharing, giving them a glimpse or an insight as to how you can help them or how you can meet them where they are with what they want. All right. Emotions. Again, emotions are the driver of business results. People make purchase decisions based off emotion. They need something, they want something, they're trying to solve a problem, they're trying to fill a gap, they've got something going on in the world. So what is that? And how do you connect to them emotionally? Give them something that's going to entice them to want to come in and learn more about what you're doing. So emotional engagement is what happens after curiosity. Once people are curious about you, they trust you, they like you, they feel like you're someone that they can dig into, then they're looking for an emotional connection. All right? Emotional connection is number 3. Number 4 in the customer journey is a genuine connection. So emotional engagement and then genuine connection. A genuine connection is when you look for an opportunity to genuinely connect with someone. All right. So for example, this would be what I'm talking about. All right. So I share this video today on the customer journey, and I say in my screenshot of this is very likely the reason why your customers are not buying from you. I have someone that comes in that's a general interest prospect, and you're listening to me now, and you're like, yeah, I'm trying to scale my business. I've launched stuff and struggled to sell it. I feel like I'm inconsistent, blah, 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 blah. My people aren't taking me seriously. So you try to figure your business out, and you come and you listen to me, and you're like, this is right on. This gives me so much clarity about what the heck I'm missing and what I need to do differently. So while you're sitting here listening to this video, you've gotten curious, and you're probably looking my Facebook up because I told you to. You're probably looking up my website because I told you to. You probably Googled my name because I told you to. And so you're crossing that curiosity factor. You've probably read a couple of my reviews because I told you to. And you're checking all that out. And so I've already crossed the curiosity factor with you. And now you're back. Well, and this is all while you're sitting here watching my video. And then while you're watching my video or listening to my podcast, you've crossed over the curiosity. Like, I get Justin, he's cool. This guy's for real, and he seems to have a real legitimate business with real clients that are thrilled that they get to work with him. So I've gotten you to that point. Now I'm trying to strike a chord with some gaps that are missing in your business, and I'm showing you specific things that you can do to improve it. I've connected to you emotionally already. So now what I'm looking for is an opportunity to connect to you genuinely. So what happened is I look through the comments of my videos, and I look through the comments of my posts, and I'll have people that'll say things like, man, Justin, this was so good. You like, and what I'll usually do, I'll say something like, how many of y'all are enjoying this today? Are you learning something? And I might say, I could say something in my video like, of everything that I've shared with you so far, what is one thing that has really resonated with you? What is one thing that has really stuck out? I would love to know, just so I know where we're at. Tell me one thing you've heard so far that's like, I've got to do that. That's something I got to get after. Put that in the chat stream. So I might say something like that. So Paul might say, so let's say Paul, for example, is brand new. Let's say I don't know Paul. All right. So Paul commented earlier and said, I already went and set up my Google business listing while I was talking to you. So I've connected emotionally to him already. Either he's emotional engagement. He's like, I'm taking this. I'm doing something with this. That was something that I needed to do. So what would happen if Paul was brand new is as soon as this broadcast is over, I'm going to go into my comments and I'm going to message Paul. Dude, I love it. I love when people take action. Awesome job getting on it and getting after that thing. I'm going to say something like that, and then Paul's going to respond to me, and he's going to say, appreciate it, dude. Love the video today, or something like that. And then in the meantime, I'm going to go and I'm going to look up Paul. I'm going to look up his Facebook page. I'm going to Google Paul on Google. I'm going to go try to find a Google business listing that he just set up. I'm going to try to look that. I'm going to take, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, and I'm going to look Paul up, and I'm going to see what he did and how he's done it and what I feel is working and what I feel is not working. And then what I'm going to do, go into this genuine connection, is I'm going to come back and I'm going to be like, Paul, man, I just checked out your Google business listing, dude. It looks so good. Great job knocking that out. Be sure to get a link to your website up, or be sure to use the URL link that they give you to get a review as soon as you can, and do that, right? So I'll give him some tips, just talking in the comments of my video, and he's gonna be like, dude, I so appreciate that. I don't have a website set up yet. Paul does, but if he said that, I don't have a website set up yet, or I'm not sure how to go about the review process or something, but thanks for the insight. I'm just talking to him. I'm connecting to him genuinely. I'm investing time and energy into just talking to that person, right? As if I don't know Paul, right? And then what I'm doing, number 5, is offline conversation. So what I want to try to do is I want to try to take a genuine connection, and I want to try to take that connection on social to an offline conversation. And usually I take that to Messenger. So if I'm having this interaction with Paul, great job on getting your Google business listing set up. I went and checked that out. It looks so good. Great job. Make sure you get your website linked up. Maybe make sure you get some images in there, because that'll all affect and show up when people Google you. He's like, Justin, I appreciate it so much, man. I don't have a website set up yet, but I'm in that process, blah, 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 blah. And he tells me whatever he tells me. If I've had that interaction, and if I'm trying to stir up conversation and Paul's talking back to me, we've connected genuinely. So now I'm gonna see if you can chat with me offline. So then I'm gonna go to Messenger. I'm going to go to Messenger, and I'm going to message Paul. Paul, what's up, man? Listen, I was just thinking about what you did today. I love that you got right after it. I love that you went and got that Google business listing set up. I do see a few things that I would just like to help you with, just to make this as effective as possible. Would you be interested in chatting with me sometime? I'd love to just kind of give you some ideas. There's some things that I think you could definitely do on your Facebook business page that would be really helpful. I'd love to give you some insight on how to really make that Google business listing really work for you. If you're interested in chat, man, I'd love to just talk to you, get to know you a little bit, and give you some ideas about your business. Is that something that you would be interested in? Write that last sentence down if you're taking notes. Is that something you would be interested in? Now let's just park here for a second. Does that feel salesy? I don't think it does. And I don't think it does because I'm not a salesman. I don't like selling. I love it, Paul. Paul's applying the process and got 3 clients this year already just by doing this. I'm not a salesman. I don't like selling. I'm not manipulative. I'm a servant. I serve people for a living. So I look for an opportunity to be helpful. And so you go through that process. And I invite you to a chat. Would you be interested in having a chat with me? Now let me rewind. Let me rewind a second and let me give this to you in a different way. Inbox, Messenger, Paul, what's up, man? Loved that you went and took that action and got that Google business listing set up. Listen, today only, I am offering free discovery calls to a select group of people that I really think could benefit from them. I would like to offer you one of those calls. If you would like to go to my website and click on Work with Justin, you can go ahead and register for a free strategy call. Put that on my calendar. And if you go ahead and do that, I'd love to do a free strategy call with you. Hope I'm able to talk to you soon. Makes you want to take a shower, doesn't it? Ugh, salesy. But you're like, Justin, but I'm still serving. Yeah, no. Because it lost the personal touch, and it came out like you're a consultant. Now some of us are a consultant. I'm a consultant, but I'm also a human being, and I want to hang out with Paul. Paul's awesome. You know, I think this is probably how I initially got Paul as a client, because I connect with Paul. I read Paul. I look him up. I see what he's about. I see how he rolls. This is what Paul's like. Paul, what's up, man? And that's literally how I will text you. Like, I will text you the way I talk. So I'll be like, Paul, what's up, man? I'll write him WHASSUP, man, comma. Paul, what's up, man? Loved having you in my broadcast today, dude. Appreciate the engagement. Love that you all rolled up on you taking the action on the business listing. Listen, dude, I got some ideas for you, and I'll call him dude in a text. Listen, dude, or I'll do this. I'll do a voice message. Voice messages are brilliant too, because then they can hear your tone of voice. I send voice messages all the time. So if I've got someone that I'm trying to, again, get them to an offline conversation, I'm going to go to Messenger, and I'm going to go into Messenger, and you've got 60 seconds to record a message. So I'll go in there and I'll record a message. Paul, what's up, man? Listen, buddy, I appreciate you. Loved having you in my broadcast this morning. Your energy and your engagement in the room adds so much to me as a broadcaster. So I appreciate you. Love that you got right up and after it and got that Google business listing set up. Man, listen, I was checking out some of your stuff. I Googled you on Google, checked out your Facebook page. You're doing so much of the right stuff. I do feel like there's a couple things. If you made some small tweaks in a couple areas, it would dramatically improve the results that you're getting. I'm just curious to know if you'd be interested in having a chat with me. I got some free time today and tomorrow afternoon. If that works for you, I'd just love to chat with you for a bit, get to know you, and just give you some ideas about some ways that I think that your business could really step up a bit. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in, or is that something that you'd be interested in? Click send, and I'll send that. And then Paul's gonna get that, and he's gonna be like, "What?" Now, again, step back from Paul's perspective. Paul was, before 8 a.m. this morning, a general interest. Now, this is not Paul, but if Paul was a general interest prospect that woke up this morning with a need that he needed help with, he didn't know help was even available, and then he opened up Facebook, and here comes this dude, Justin Kappen, on a video talking about this is why you're not selling stuff, and he's like, yeah, I might listen to that video. He didn't know who I am. Comes in, watches my video. Huh, this guy's cool. I can roll with him. He seems kind of nice. He's got good info, taking some notes. Dang, that's a good idea. Set up a Google business listing. I think I'll do that. Google gets that done. Dang, I did that quick. What else should I do? Facebook? Let me work on Facebook. Get that done. I'm connecting to him. And then all of a sudden I'm talking to Paul. Paul, appreciate you, man. You rock. You're awesome. Way to get that done. I'm connecting to him, you know, emotional engagement. And then I go through this whole video. This is awesome. Loved it. Great video. He Googled me, looked me up, whatever. And the video's over. And then as soon as the video's over, he gets a friend request from me. Cool. Justin sent me a friend request. Accept. I love it. That's awesome. And then 5 minutes after getting a friend request from me, he gets a personal a personal audio message from me. Paul, what's up, man? I appreciate you. And he's thinking, he just sent me a voice message? I just met this guy online, and he's taking a minute to send me a personal voice message thanking me for being in his room. How cool is that? Heck yeah, I'd love to have a conversation with him. I'm telling y'all. Now listen, this is what's funny. What's funny about this is that I am teaching you exactly how I acquire you as clients. I'm teaching you my exact process. And you might say, well, Justin, you are crazy for telling us how you turn social media interactions into paying clients. I have zero inhibitions about telling you exactly what I do and how I do it, because every single thing that I do is genuine. It's not manipulative. It's not salesy. I'm just telling you, this is how I serve people. And I will still have people that will watch this video, and your buying temperature will rise, and you'll go and check me out. And then at some point we'll connect emotionally, and at some point I'll connect to you genuinely, and at some point I will send you a message or send you a text and invite you to have a free chat with me, and you'll accept it because you know that I'm going to give you a tremendous amount of value on a free call. I am not salesy. Appreciate you, Paul. Have an awesome day, buddy. See you later, man. I am not salesy. And the last step, number 6, is an irresistible recommendation. An irresistible recommendation is once you have the opportunity to actually chat with someone, at some point in time, if you serve them well, they will ask you, how do I work with you? Or what is the next step that I could take with you? I'm glad you asked. This is what it's like. Now, let me just clarify something. I have currently an 89% close rate of people that get on the phone with me. And that's not meant to scare you. I have an 89% close rate of people that get on the phone with me, and I do not bring up my pricing or my services unless you ask me to. It's because I serve people. I give you all the information you need. I strategize with you. I help you. I lay it all out. And then I will say, what questions do you have for me? And I will have people that'll go through that call with me, and they'll say, you know what, Justin, this has been so helpful. Thank you so much for taking the time and for being so helpful to help me work through this. I'm going to take what you've given me. I'm going to apply it. I'm going to get to work. And I just really appreciate you taking the time. You just told me I'm not ready to learn anything more. I'm not ready to hire you. Thank you for the information and appreciate it. I'll be like, awesome. You're so welcome. Don't be a stranger. If you get stuck in anything, holler at me. I love questions. I love being helpful. I'm gonna be paying attention to what you're doing. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you on the web. And I'll hang up that phone. And that does not bother me, because I know that if I serve you well, eventually, once you get to the point where you are looking for help and you're ready to invest in it, you'll reach out to me and be like, Justin, I'm ready to go. Let's do this thing. All right? And so, not everybody's going to close right off the bat. That's fine. But if I got someone that gets on the phone with they are genuinely ready for help and genuinely ready to invest in it, then once I go through a process of taking you all the way here, and then I have a phone call with you, I get to the end of the phone call, I help you, I serve you, I pour into all the ideas I think you need to know, and then I'll say, what questions do you have for me? And you'll say, most people will be like, how do I work with you? Where do we get started? Where do we go from here? And then what I will do is I'll make a recommendation. This last one, number 6, I'll make a irresistible recommendation that it is what I believe is the best fit for what you need. And let me just clarify this too. I do not have a one-size-fits-all program where I'm trying to fit everybody into my box. I genuinely, if I have a strategy call with someone, I genuinely am seeking to figure out what you need. Because listen, I don't want you spending one dime of your money or 1 second of your time on anything that's not going to produce a direct result from you. So I'm not going to give you things you don't need. Yeah, my mission is not to get your money. I'm not motivated by money. I'm motivated by impact. I've never been motivated by money. So when I go onto a call with you, I'm not trying to get your money. I'm trying to figure out what's holding you back, what's stopping you, what's in your way, what's your gift, what's the Lord setting you up for, and what's the quickest way for us to unpack that, bring that to life, and get you rolling. And then I will make a recommendation to you based upon that. This is what you need. This is what's in your way. And I'll say, do you agree with that? Yes, I do. This is what I feel you need help with. Do you agree with that? Yes, I do. Is there anything else we feel like we're missing? Well, I need this. I agree. We need to add that. All right, so this is what you need. You agree? This is what you need? Yeah, this is what I need. All right, for me to help you with that, that costs this much. How does that feel to you? Sounds perfect. Let's roll. Or, man, that's a little more than I was thinking. All right. Well, if it's a little more than you were thinking, then we can scale it back and we can leave this part and this part out and get you down just to the starting point. That would be this much. How does that feel to you? That feels good. We can go with there. Perfect. Let's go. That's how I work. That's if you ever get on the phone call with me, that's what will happen. I'm not going to be like, well, my program that I put people in is this much, and this is what every one of my clients go through. No, every single client that I serve is different because everyone has a different business with different needs. Everyone has different skills, different gaps, different blocks, different information that needs to be provided. So I'm custom to everybody. So be willing to adapt your business to the need of the person that you're serving. But you have to be confident enough in what you do and how you do it that you can make someone a recommendation that is irresistible to them. Okay? Now I just realized that it's 9 a.m. already. And I have a Zoom with my man Daniel at 9 a.m. So I'm going to roll, y'all. That's what I got for you today, guys, because I'm 2 minutes late for a client appointment. Not good. I'm not usually late. But that's what I got for you. The customer journey, general interest, curiosity, emotional engagement, genuine connection, offline conversation, and finally, an irresistible recommendation. That's the customer journey. Take those steps, adapt them to your own business, your own strategy, and figure out how you can move your customers through those steps as quickly as possible. Remember, 5 to 7 positive impressions with your brand before someone is usually going to be willing to commit to you on any level. Don't forget, JC Black November kicks off next week. Get on here. Go to my website, JustinCappenPro.com. Get on here and check out the teasers that are going to be coming out and get on this list, y'all. Pre-register, drop your name in there. Promise you won't regret it. It's going to be amazing. Have a beautiful day. I appreciate your time and attention. I know an hour of your time is so valuable, guys. Have a spectacular Tuesday. Be intentional with that time, intentional with that talent. Get about your goals. And I will see you guys all around the web, right? Take care and God bless y'all.